Hello, everybody. We are taking a week off this week, and we are giving you 2 of the mini episodes from our Patreon. So these are things that we post every week over there. It's usually just me and Leighton. In fact, it's always just been me and Leighton, and we do it. They're a little more informal than normal episodes. I know what you're thinking. More informal, but somehow we managed. So we're putting 2 of these out this week. They're from several months ago, and if you like what you hear here today, you can go to patreon.com/Leighton Night. That's patreon.com/Leighton Night to get a mini-sode every week. That's for our 2 and 3 peach tier supporters. All right, enjoy this week's episode, and we'll be back next week with another truly incredible guest.
Well, speaking to the question that you asked before we started recording,
yes,
we have some new additions to the Leighton Night family that I'm really excited about. It means someone's leaving us, i.e. the old Mike Arms that we had.
They were part of our family since the inception of the podcast, and they were not a particularly good part of our family. Kind of like an evil little brother, I would say.
A bit of a toxic presence, yes.
That's a good way of saying it. Yeah, they were problematic and took more than they gave.
Yes, unwieldy, just always in the way, always causing a problem. But we're really excited to share that we have sent that arm to the farm, so to speak. And now we have new arms.
Yeah, that's right. And we have, you know what? We have a couple more additions, too, that we should talk about, because I got mic arms for the garage and a new mic so that we can now...
You did?
Yeah. So I have a full setup here. I set it all up. So we have 3 mics in my studio here can we give away that we're recording an in-person episode soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not saying who it is,
No, we are not giving their name away. A week from today, in fact, we were recording an in-person episode. So I bought new mic arms and 1 new mic and cloud lifter for the garage, and we're all good to go.
Damn. Well, amazing. I'm sure this is very interesting information for our beautiful Patreon subscribers. But just know if we sound extra stable. Yeah. Just why would you need so many knobs on a mic arm is my question, because all of them gave out at the same time every single day.
Yeah, and
with the last one.
The real revelation to me, because I don't know a lot about this, is these new ones don't have, they have 1 thing you can tighten, whereas the other ones had about 20.
Yeah.
And all of them would fail, as you said, at the same time. And while you're talking, the mic would just get lower and lower and lower and eventually fall over every time.
Yeah. God forbid you attempt to move it in any direction or just swivel it away. This one is, I got a good feeling about it. I was going to affectionately tap the arm and then realize that would be the equivalent of me slapping this microphone full force.
Yes, it's like tapping on the glass of a fish tank. It would not be nice to the listeners. I was debating. Tell me what you think about this. So now I have a couple old shitty mic arms, and I also have something else to give away, which is a 200-foot-long Ethernet cable. So I was debating just sitting in a public park here somewhere in LA, tweeting my coordinates and saying, I'm giving away this stuff to the first people that come and get it. And maybe some NSP crap too, because why not? And yeah, just because I don't want to sell it, and it seems silly to throw it away. And the mic arms are not great, but they are usable. And certainly this Ethernet cable is fine.
Excellent pitch, just generally from our show. Just hey, these mic's arms are shit. Would you like them? This 200-foot Ethernet cable, also shit. I have tripped on it.
You know what? You can frame them. Oh, yes, you have tripped on the cable. Yeah, you could frame them or... actually, sorry, you haven't tripped on that cable. Everyone else in my house has.
Yes.
I forgot. I feel like I've had it forever, but it's really only been a few months. I don't know. What do you think about that idea? Should I do that, or is that so silly?
That sounds like a nightmare, truthfully. God bless that and anybody who would come, but do you really want to sit around waiting for people to be like like waiting for somebody to be like, hey, Mike Arm, Twitter, hello. And then, like, I don't know, depending on how long you're there, like, people could show up and be disappointed. Like, I don't know.
I did it. I did something like it once when I think it was Under the Covers 1 or 2. I can't remember. Came out. I had a listening party on a park bench in Elysian Park, and
nice.
I just went there and I brought a little battery powered boombox, and I said I'm sitting here and listening to the album. If anyone wants to show up and join me, and I gave the park, and a couple people showed up, chatted with people for a little bit, and then left. And it was really fun, actually.
Yeah, that sounds super cute.
Yeah, so that's
But
the kind
album
of thing.
listening is very different from, hey, kid, you want a broken mic arm?
Yes, that's true. Okay, maybe I won't do it. I don't know. Maybe I will. I like those little like pop up kind of I don't know, for want of a better term, fan experiences. I did one actually. Once we were visiting Rachel's folks in Minnesota, and originally I was going to do it at the Mall of America, and then I have a friend. It actually might have been Gerard. Like I tweeted it, and then I think he replied, and he was like, "Don't do it there." Like I got kicked out because they don't like, it's a private space.
Right.
So they don't want people doing shit like that. So I did it at some park and had a bunch of people show up, including some like pretty young kid. I'd say 2 8-year-old kids showed up with their mom. And I was like, what? What is going on? And they were very, the kids were a little pushy. And I was like, I feel weird, how did they find out anyway?
Yeah, that's a strange zone to be in.
Yeah. Generally, most people were adults and very cool, but there were a couple young kids there that I was like, what exactly is going on here? The other funny thing about that was Rachel and Audrey were there. Audrey was very little at the time. This is probably 4 years ago, so she would have been like 2. And once she saw me talking to people, she got very protective and ran up to me and tried to push everybody away.
Wow, personal security guard.
Actually, I want to send you a video. Speaking of that,
Please.
I found this. Where is this? I found this yesterday. This is
Wait, is
Rachel and
this
I
something
have-
you're going to text to me? Because it will take a million years and then it will be crunched to shit.
Okay, let's see. What's a better way to do that then?
I don't know, describe this video to me.
Okay, you know what? I will just describe it to you.
This is an
is
audio
a-
medium, Brian.
Yeah, it's from 2017. So Audrey was just about to turn 3. And I was like, what? It's a video. It starts off just like in a part of our house where no one's there. And then Audrey runs through going, come on, choo-choo, train. And then behind her, all 4 members of Twerp walk through in a single file line, following her, forming a train, while she yells at them for doing it wrong. And she's like, no, Kitty, you go there, Kitty. Come on, Wobots, that sort of stuff.
God.
It is really, really, really cute. And those guys, like, imagine, what does it take to be 4, I forget how old they were at the time, like late 20s guys who just hang out with a almost 3-year-old and play little music songs with her. They would go into her room and like she'd give them all instruments and they'd make a little band and they'd sing songs together.
God.
Those guys have been such a big part of, obviously our lives, but her life too for so long that it's so heartwarming to see these videos from when she was a little kid under 3, just playing with these really sweet guys. It's so great.
Please email me that video because I desperately need to see that content.
It's the best. We watched it like 20 times yesterday. I'm going to see if I can find a way to upload this. Whoop, no, that's not it. Right now because it is very, very cute. Cool. So we were watching this video a lot. It's just so cute to see them. Thinking of all the times my tiny daughter bossed these young men around. It's
Yeah, her
really
and Kitty, just the sweetest thing in the world.
Have you seen the picture of them at the zoo holding hands?
No.
Yeah. One time, I think before Twerp moved to LA, Kitty was visiting, and he was like, "Yeah, Audrey, let's go to the zoo." And so we all went to the zoo, and she grabbed his hand because she knew her way around and would like lead him around and be like, "These are giraffes," kind of stuff. And
Oh my god.
Meowch just like he's like, "Yeah, let's walk around the zoo, 3-year-old." It's so cute. So it was such a sweet thing.
Gosh, I've sent you those pictures that I took like last New Year's Eve or whenever the hell it was. With I think Audrey was reading a story to Meowch. It's the cutest shit in the world.
Yes.
I'm glad that we're spending all this time talking about pictures and videos that the audience cannot see, but
That's how it goes. Yeah.
that's
All right,
life,
well,
baby.
Here, watch this.
Huh?
I'm gonna send this video to you right now. This is fun. I like this. Here. And now I'm using Google Drive is so annoying on the phone.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad.
Only people added can open this link. Change. You know what? I'm going to add you on this. This is fun. People like this. Okay.
Yeah, I honestly think in general, and I don't know how you or listeners feel about this, but we should totally like move away from like reacting to videos or whatever the hell. I feel like it is the least interesting thing for listeners, but I could be wrong.
I tend to agree. And it also makes more work for Jarek when he's editing because everything becomes a question of, does this translate at all?
Yeah.
When we're putting it out. So one thing I realized we haven't told people is that when we do the video versions of the episodes, those are essentially unedited. So they're often like, I don't know, you get like an extra half hour in every video version compared to the audio because I don't have the time to go through, like editing the audio and then syncing up the video to it would be a nightmare. So I just kind of listen through once and make sure no one says anything objectionable. And then, which is like basically never the case. And then just put it out. So if people are watching the video versions, those are always longer than the audio, which also goes to show how much work Jarek does.
Yes.
Editing
My
these.
God.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at this video that you sent me.
All right. Which is exactly what you said we shouldn't do. But
Yeah.
we're going to do it now because this is
it's
worth it.
open now and it's cute, so I'm going to watch it. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Isn't this the best?
Look at these young men. Oh my
These
gosh.
young men, this is 4 years ago.
Oh, they look so baby. I'm dying.
Isn't this the best?
Oh. Oh, sweet Coco, just
Yep,
terrified.
There's a Coco. She's not terrified. She's just laying there. She's doing what Coco always did, which is just to stay in one place.
Oh. Yeah, a little confused tail wag.
Yep. Is that the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just end up in Audrey, like they go off screen into Audrey's room.
Oh, this is the sweetest fucking. I
Isn't that the best?
miss my boys. I miss my boys.
I know.
Oh
Me too.
God.
I was.
Oh fuck. Like literally the one time I cried this year was saying goodbye to them. It was just me crying in a lift. It sucked.
Oh, yeah, that was the worst. I was texting with Meowch about this video, and he said, "I remember that day very clearly. The four of us doing the Three Stooges pile up."
It's a really expert one too.
Yeah,
It's really
that also
great.
makes Audrey be like, "No, Kitty, you go back. You go back a Kitty. Stop it." Yeah.
God, we're pouring over that like it's the Zapruder film or some shit.
It's because it's the best.
I'm sorry to compare an extremely cute video of our friends and your daughter to the Zapruder film, but
It's fine.
every frame a painting.
That's exactly, as soon as you said every frame, that's exactly what I thought.
We should get like a YouTube film essayist or whatever on the show.
Yeah, who would you
Maybe.
want? Obviously, Red Letter Media would be way up there.
Yeah, but I don't think they do anything that isn't
Yeah.
their channel, you know?
Who else would you like?
Hold on. I waded myself into treacherous territory in saying that. I think 90%, because 90% of them I fucking hate and do not want to talk to. And
Because
I'm not
the level
even
of criticism is so bad.
yes, that the self-seriousness of it all. Lessons from the Screenplay I really love. I like that guy. He's cool. I will close my mouth for the rest of the
No, that's
I
fine.
don't know.
I don't know this one. Lessons from the Screenplay.
Lessons from the Screenplay is really good. It's good shit.
Yeah, this seems cool. I'll look at this.
Yeah, I haven't watched them in a while, and I think if I recall correctly, they retired. One of them retired.
Yeah. So we're now at a point. Actually, today was a big turning point for the pod, for the following reason. Today is the first time that I sent a cold call. Hey, I'd like to book this person for the show type email. So
Whoa.
I don't want to say who because we don't want to put any pressure on anyone.
Of course.
But I think we are, it's an interesting time for the show because we're running out of friends to put on, which is, I think very typical of a podcast. Like, your first, year or so is largely people which has been the case here for sure. A couple of people, most often it's someone that one or the other of us knows.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's been people that were introduced. Bruce Green is an example. I'd never met Bruce in person, but it was awesome.
Yeah, and he was awesome.
Yeah, that was through Brent, who was like, talk to Bruce, he rules. And
God damn it. But will Brent
right.
ever come on this show? He's just flat out refusing still?
well, no, actually, very interesting development. I talked to him, I don't know, last week, and I was like, please come on the show. And he was like, let me think about it. And I said, that's a no, right? And he goes, no, it's not a no. So.
Oh, shit! Okay.
So with,
all right.
I never want anyone to come on, to feel pressured to come on,
Yeah.
except Brent.
Except
So,
for Brent. I think it's
yes.
important that he does feel pressure to come on the show.
Yeah, I think.
Well,
he
listen,
would
all we
be
have to do
great.
is be like, in when you're trying to like catch a small animal and you prop up a box with bait and a stick and you tie a string to
right.
the stick and you pull the stick. All we have to do is put some really nice whiskey in under a box. And that box is your garage.
100%. And I just say, hey, Brent, show up. If we happen to record an episode of the podcast, that's fine. But look, there's a bottle of whiskey by the mics over there. And yes, that's the way to
Make
do
sure
it.
the door closes behind you.
I think he would be great.
Yes, I agree.
Someday, that's Brent Entertainment will happen. It is my goal. I've been pitching this to him for years, and
Yeah.
it's all I've ever wanted. I wanted that to be when we were doing. I think I told you this when we were doing when Grumps was like branching out to other videos. I proposed that as a series and got shot down immediately. Yeah.
I mean, Brent, one of the many, many delightful things about Brent are the stories that he could in no way ever tell on
Ever.
a podcast.
Nope.
And those are the true Brent entertainment stories.
Correct.
But
Everyone's best Hollywood stories are things they can't say publicly, of course.
yeah, like that's why they're good.
Yeah.
I miss my friends so much.
Rachel and I went out to lunch yesterday for the first
Whoa.
time in, I don't even know fucking when. We found a place with an outdoor terrace, and we were actually going to do it on Friday, but then Audrey woke up with a high fever, and we were like, well, you can't send her to school. She got a COVID test that day. It was negative. Fever went away the next day. But so we had plans to go. It was like the day after our 2-week window after the second shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we're going out to lunch. Wake up that morning, and it's like, nope. The child gods have intervened to make this not happen. And then we went out yesterday, and it was it was like the first time at a restaurant for like a sit down meal, and not like we've done a couple other things where it was like buy something and sit on a outdoor table, but not
Right.
like a service like thing. It's like get it at a counter and then sit down somewhere and eat it. It was so great. It was so nice to be at a restaurant again.
Wasn't it nice for somebody to like bring you water?
Yes.
That's what I keep thinking about.
It's amazing. Yeah, it was nice to be out. And so that's what I was thinking. Now that we're vaccinated and lots of places have outdoor options, I'm still not ready to do indoor, but lots of great outdoor options, and those feel totally safe to me.
Yeah, I guess the day that we're recording next week will be my like 2 week post second vax. And as somebody who has never been like, I'm just going to go to a bar and have a drink kind of person, now I'm like, please, I just want to go to a bar and have a drink.
Yeah. Would you do indoor?
Not yet. A few more months, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think it's unreasonable to do indoors right now. Like if you're vaccinated.
Neither do I.
think
It's
fine.
like a mental thing for me.
100%. It's just, I want to see those numbers be low and stay low.
Yeah.
And then I'll feel okay about it. But just not right now.
Yeah.
But it is the kind of thing where if you're vaccinated, I'm not judging anyone who's doing anything when they're vaccinated. I think pretty much everything is fine.
Yeah.
It's not
just been
without
such
risk,
a
but
arduous,
yeah.
terrible everything.
Can I tell you something else fun that happened yesterday?
Never.
Rachel and Audrey went on an audition together.
What?
Yep. So Rachel has an agent, and the agent put out a call for mother-daughter things, and we were like, so we asked Audrey, is this something you'd be interested in doing? Because like we'd never want to pressure her into that.
Of course.
And Audrey was like, yes, I would like to try that. So they auditioned for a thing. I'm not even going to say what it is. And they got a call back. So they went in person to do a little audition, which is...
Oh my gosh.
Oh my! The video for their first audition is the cutest thing ever. Just watching the two of them be themselves. And they went on, a callback audition yesterday in person. So that's Audrey's first, audition, really.
Wow. Oh my God. That's so cool.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Who knows if it'll go anywhere? And the moment she says, I don't want to do this, we stop. Like, that's the rule.
Yeah.
And I was talking to, I'm going to have to bleep this out. I think I told you this, but I'll have to bleep out the name. Audrey used to go to dance lessons with his kid. And so we're talking to her about being a child actor. And she was like, I loved it, but the only reason I loved it is because my parents didn't give a single shit if I did it or not. And the moment, I would advise anyone in that role to say, it's great if the kid wants to do it, and it's terrible if they don't. So.
Wow. Look
Yeah.
at this good attitude on her. That's awesome.
Yep. And I was like, that seems like a really reasonable philosophy. So.
Yeah.
We're not pressuring Audrey to do anything, and if she doesn't want to do it, fine. I couldn't care less. But if she's having fun with it and feels like it's something she wants to keep doing, then why the hell
She's
not?
got the skill set for it, man. Like,
She's certainly
I can
cute
see
enough.
it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, watching her and Rachel together, especially with their masks on because they have the same eyes, same smile, same smize, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I wish I had anything exciting to report. I was killing some people in Sims 4. That's about it. There's a really interesting... I had not logged into my Origin TM Sims 4 account since May of last year. And I really feel like you could make a chart of every single time I log into my Sims 4 account and then overlay it with the lowest points in my depression, and it would just match up perfectly.
How old is Sims 4? Is that an old game?
It might have come out 2015 or 16.
Okay, so not that old, yeah.
Yeah. But it's sort of like, there's the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and then you invert that pyramid down into Maslow's basement of goblin hell. Sims 4 is at the very bottom of that. It's just been me oscillating between Sims 4 and a new playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077, a fucking terrible game that I hate and cannot stop playing.
Is it as bad as everybody says? Did they fix it since it came out at all?
Sort of.
I feel like we talked about this when it came out.
Yeah, because Allie came on and we talked about it a good bit on the
right, of course, and then you cut out that hour of you guys.
Yeah, which was a solid hour. Whenever they eventually release the DLC for this, she's coming back and we're gonna scream for 2 hours.
Good.
I don't know. How do I explain why Cyberpunk is as bad as it is? It's clear that they spent 6 years making the first act of the game, and then they were like, holy shit, we can get Keanu Reeves in this. And then they just kind of threw everything together to create a second and third act. The writing is terrible, makes no sense. A lot of horrible voice acting. The quests are just so fucking boring. It's a huge, beautiful world that feels so empty. And it's just even because you can choose 3 different life paths or whatever. I played the one that I had not played yet last night, and it was like, Jesus Christ, this is the only one that made sense. They clearly went from here and then we're like, we got to do it if you choose to be corporate. We got to do it if you're going to be a nomad. Change it. And so I played those other 2 first, and I was like, this makes no sense. So it's just you see the cracks everywhere.
It's just incoherent.
Yeah, incoherent is a really good way to put it. Yeah, absolutely incoherent. And truly the best part of the game, it's so saved by Keanu Reeves's unique shitty acting, where it's maybe it was Allie or Jory saying this, but he's bad, but he cares so much about the role and commits to it so hard that it loops back around and becomes very earnest and good. I think
that was a Jory thing. Yeah,
I actually think it was Allie saying it to me, but I think Jory has expressed the exact same sentiment because they're both correct. But yeah, I don't know. I get to ride around on a motorcycle and then hack people until their heads explode, so I don't really care that everything's busted. It's, again, I mean, okay, as somebody who is a game developer who had to deal with people really, I don't know, a large amount of hype and then people feeling disappointed, it's hard. With a bigger company like this, it's more okay, you guys fucked up. But the disparity between marketing materials and everyone being this isn't what I was promised. I understand that frustration, but also, folks, it's a fucking video game. Chill out.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I highly recommend it because it's just a good time. Is it good quality wise? Fuck no. Is it super fun? Yes.
Apropos of nothing, I'm going to change the subject completely, unless you have further things to add.
No. You're wise to do so.
I want to read you. I was listening to something recently where the subject of Yiddish curses
interesting.
came up. So Yiddish, for those people who don't know, it was basically before Hebrew kind of got resurrected in the early 20th century, whenever it was. This is what a lot of Eastern European Jews spoke. My grandparents spoke Yiddish, actually.
Really?
Although, yeah, not enough that my father remembered any. He remembered a few phrases here and there, but my grandparents grew up speaking Yiddish. And the best part about Yiddish are the curses. So Yiddish, it's like a combination. I don't know if this is actually accurate linguistically, but it's like a combination of Hebrew and German. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce these curses in the Yiddish, but I'm just going to read some of these because they are really, really, really amazing.
Please.
So this is from Nachum Stutkov's thesaurus of the Yiddish language. So I'm just going to read the English translation. So these are curses in the sense of like not shit and fuck, but like something you would wish on someone else, like a curse of
Got
that
it.
nature. All problems I have in my heart should go to his head. Let what I wish on
Yes.
him come true. Most, even half, even just 10%. The one that brought this up, the reason I was looking this up is because I was listening to Jackie Hoffman, who's an actress who's on Double Threat, one of my favorite podcasts, and she said some Yiddish curse. And Tom and Julie, the hosts, were like, "What does that mean?" And she says, "He should get killed." That was so great. These are very graphic. All right, I'm going to keep reading these. One misfortune is too few for him. Black sorrow is all that his mother should see of him. He should marry the daughter of the angel of death. This is a good one. She should have stones and not children.
Whoa.
Yeah. He should drink too much castor oil. Let him suffer and remember. This is a really good one. Leeches
Yeah,
should
these are
drink
metal.
him dry. And that one, I'm going to try to pronounce that one. I think it's Trinkenzol and Impiavkis. Although I'm sure my pronunciation is terrible. He should laugh with lizards. He should grow a wooden tongue. He should get the, whatever name of the town you're in, hernia. Venereal disease should consume his body. This one is weird for a curse. A young child should be named after him. Let's see.
I love the idea of calling somebody a town's hernia.
Yes,
Eric Garcetti, Los Angeles'
This-
hernia.
this one's really good. God should bless him with 3 people. One to grab him, the second to stab him, and the third to hide him.
These are fucking amazing.
Right? 10 ships of gold should be his, and the money should only make him sick. He should he should have a large store, and whatever people ask for, he shouldn't have, and what he does have shouldn't be requested. 100 houses shall he have, in every house 100 rooms, and in every room 20 beds, and a delirious fever should drive him from bed to bed.
Wow, okay, we're getting high concept.
Yeah. All his teeth should fall out, except one to make him suffer. On summer days, he should mourn, and on wintry nights, he should torture himself. Oh, that one's too graphic. I'm not going to read that. He should crap blood and pus.
Oh, but that one's not too graphic.
No, that one's good. And I'm going to finish with, your stomach will rumble so badly, you'll think it was a Purim noisemaker. Do you know what Purim is?
No, what's that?
Purim is the Jewish holiday. It's kind of like Jewish Halloween. It's when all the kids dress up in costumes, and it's when a lot of the Orthodox guys get like crazy drunk, drunk. I remember we lived in an Orthodox part of Brooklyn for a while, and one night it was just like chaos on the streets. I was like, "What the fuck is? Oh, it's Purim." So yeah. It's like a thing where they go to, I don't know if it's the temple or wherever it is, but they literally they just drink, get like sloppy drunk and go out carousing.
That sounds like a delight to witness.
It was very loud for a while. So
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I didn't know until recently that glitch is a Yiddish thing.
it's a Yiddish word.
From a Yiddish word, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. And
Yeah.
itch, like that ch is a very Yiddish sound, like kvetch. So I didn't know
yes.
that either, but that's not super surprising.
Yeah, it's not really a stretch. Makes sense.
Yeah, I love Yiddish curses are so great.
Yeah, I really think we should like bring back the more elaborate form of placing curses upon people's homes instead of just like, I don't know, dunking on them on Twitter with, pull out of the bag of phrases of things that you can call somebody on Twitter.
Yeah.
Let's take it back.
Yeah, I like that. The very elaborate thing. I can't remember where it was. I'd have to look this up. There was some book of like Yiddish book. My dad had a bunch of there was one book he had, The Joy of Yiddish by Leo Rosten. Like my dad being a American Jew really liked a lot of the stuff from his like, semi-recent ancestors, like his grandfathers, like Yiddish was a fun thing to him. Also, all his, he's like a Mel Brooks kind of Alan Sherman type guy. So we had all these like Yiddish books around the house about how fucking awesome Yiddish was and all the cool things you could say in it. And 99% of them are about cursing people. And one of these curses, I can't remember what it was. It was like 2 pages long. And it was like, I want this thing to happen. And then this terrible thing. And then this terrible. It was like a whole long list of everything terrible, about all the tortures that you want your enemies to go through. It's amazing.
It's more honest than a lot of things people say to each other now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, 2 pages, at least you're being creative, man. What's your favorite Yiddish word?
Oh, there's so many good ones. I really like punim, which is face. Oh, what a sweet punim. That's a good one. That's you'll hear like people say that. What else? There's so many good ones. Bubi or buba.
Yep.
Usually bubi for like a grandmother or like an older woman in your life. Sometimes it's but sometimes you'll say bubi for like a young like a kid too. Oh, bubi. My dad would say that sometimes. What are other really good ones? Like nothing is occurring to me right now. There are there's the usual ones like mensch, macher, which basically kind of mean the same thing. Mitzvah is a good one, although maybe that's Hebrew. I can't really keep straight what's Hebrew and what's Yiddish. One of my regrets about how I was brought up is that I was never taken to Hebrew school, which is probably, like, from my understanding of what Hebrew school is, you don't actually learn Hebrew. You just learn to read it, but not to, like, you're not learning it like a language. You know what I mean? You just learn how to pronounce the symbols.
Right.
So you can.
There are a lot of interesting mouth sounds going on.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it's so you can read it for your bar or bat mitzvah. So you can read the Haftorah and whatever. So I was always jealous of my, the other kids who were going to learn Hebrew. And then I realized that they weren't learning Hebrew. They were just learning to basically read a thing and then memorize it. But it's a cool fucking language. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So with that, I think that's probably enough for a solid mini. We got in all the Yiddish curses that I wanted to get in. So
Yeah. I got nothing going on, folks. I'm sitting here and I'm recording a podcast. I got nothing to say.
Yeah. Something that would be useful for, and I know we do this occasionally, is people in the comments on this episode. So now that we're reaching out to other, like, kind of cold calling potential guests, tell us who you want to get on the show. And how can I put this? The less famous someone is, the more likely they are to show up. So, you know what I mean? So,
Yes,
like,
yeah.
if you're like, why not get, I don't know, who's a famous YouTuber or something? I'm going to pick a name. I don't know. Jake Paul. Jake Paul. Let's put Jake Paul in here. The coolest guy in town.
Yes.
Who we will commit now to never having on the show. But someone who
This
is
is a
like,
Paul free zone.
yes, that's exactly right. Low gang for life, of course.
Jesus Christ.
So super, super famous people are very unlikely to show up. But, if people, we'll get in touch with anybody, just know that the higher your expectations, or the higher the level of fame, the less likely they are to get back to us.
Yeah, and also think outside the bun. This is forgive me. This is a show about, people who make stuff on the internet, so that's not exclusive to YouTubers, and I have wanted to, like, branch out and talk to people who make different things online.
Yes. I really
so-
want some TikTokers, for example, now that I am one myself.
Oh God.
Yes.
What have you
Yes.
done?
I believe I signed up for my TikTok account the day after we recorded an episode where I said I would never sign up for a TikTok account.
How many followers do you have?
I don't know. Let me check. Where is this on my phone? There it is. I have 19.1 thousand.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Pretty solid start. Right now, I'm mainly posting like kind of NSP to. Oh God, no. This I could. Fucking, there's so much good stuff on here that I feel like I'm just not seeing. Because I see people like I've talked about this on the show. I see people like Hank Green post about it, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Look at all this science stuff. And then I like open the app. I almost said boot up. And it's the cringiest fucking comedy you've ever seen, and it's so bad.
Well,
It's
what
so
I've
bad.
heard is that you have to do it enough to get the algorithm to know what you want, and then at that point, it's all laser targeted at you. I highly recommend the subreddit r/TikTok cringe, which is like, it's a misnomer because it's not supposed to be like, aha, look at this cringe. It's just the name where people, it's the sub where people put really good TikToks. So
Okay,
it's a
good.
nice compendium of good content despite the name.
I was showing Rachel, we were talking about TikTok yesterday, and I was like, just come sit with me. And I'm going to flick through the things on my For You page, which is like the landing page where all the recommendations are. And I was, look how bad this is. And there was like, I'd say out of 30 videos that we flipped through, there was one where we were like, well, that's a good one. And everything else was just, the comedy in particular is just fucking horrible. It's,
Yeah, and I've said this on the show before, but the fact that like people on that app do not understand timing in a way that people on
At
Vine,
all.
yeah, functionally needed to understand timing. Because here it's just like, oh my god, this would have been funny if this was 40 seconds shorter. Like,
yes.
Edit.
They feel like because you can have 60 seconds, you should have 60 seconds. And these, what should have been Vines, end up being 45 seconds long. And you're like, no, what the fuck are you? Stop, get out. Oh, it's, yes. And the other thing they don't understand is acting, where, like, these, it's clearly, some of these things are presented in such a way that it's supposed to look like it's an honest reaction. But the acting is so bad and it's so clearly rehearsed, it completely kills the comedy.
yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, I'm a real meat and potatoes TikTok kind of gal. I sent you guys that video of the guy drinking an entire can of seltzer and then
Yes.
immediately vomiting and hitting his head.
That was a really good one. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like people suddenly hitting their heads never gets old in videos. One of my favorite YouTube videos is the one where it's the dude like, it's summer, I got my hat on backwards and it's time to fucking party. And then he hits his head and it ends.
Yeah. Yeah, that's get in and out. If Vine taught us anything, it's get out quick.
Yeah, when in doubt, injure yourself for comedy. All right, folks, that's the end of the mini-sode. That's the
Goodbye.
end of the mini-sode. Goodbye.
All right, and there we are. All right, so I just sent you a video of something happening in my
Okay.
backyard, and I want you to watch it.
I'm opening this video. I will tell you now, I have an Android, and so whenever you send me videos, it crunches it like crazy, but here we go. All right, I see a tube. I see a squirrel. And now it is frozen. There we go, there we go. Okay, the squirrel is... Oh, there he goes. He's lingering. Another tube. Are these pool noodles?
These are... Wait, did I send you the right one? I think so. Oh, you know what? I think I sent you the wrong one.
Yeah, I just see a squirrel touching some noodles.
Oh, yeah, this is... Okay, this is not interesting. Here, let me... I wonder if there's a better way to communicate this. Here, I got it. Let's try this one.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, this will be a better one. All right, try this.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Might take a second. So we have discussed the squirrels in our backyard, right?
Yes, didn't we just talk about that on one of the episodes we recorded?
Sounds about right. And they are, all right, this should be in your hands.
There it is. I shall download. Oh, failed to download file. Let me have
What?
it. All right, here we go. I got it. All right. I see a tube. I see the squirrel with the tube. The squirrel. What the fuck? The squirrel has lifted up the tube.
And is playing with it, maybe? Doing flips? Did you get to a flip yet?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Maybe it might be looking for food. It definitely was ripping chunks out of that thing.
Just somersaulting around over this tube. This is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So Rachel texted me. She was like, look out your window right now from the garage. And so I carefully pulled the curtain back and saw, I believe this squirrel's name is Nutty, according to Audrey. The squirrel doing
is
fucking
going
flips.
apeshit.
Yeah. And we, as a family, had a moment where we just watched this little idiot do flips.
That squirrel is having the time of his life. Oh my god.
Pretty
to be a
wild,
squirrel
right?
with a tube. We're all just trying to be squirrels with tubes.
I've never seen them like play. Do they play? I don't know if they play.
No, I mostly just end up seeing them like darting into traffic.
Yeah. Have I told you about my favorite squirrel moment? I feel like I've talked about
No,
this.
please share your favorite squirrel moment.
We were living in New Jersey. This is pre-Audrey, very early on in Rachel's marriage. And we left our house to go drive somewhere. And as we were walking out, a squirrel ran underneath my car. And I needed to, we were not in the car yet. We were walking towards the car. So a squirrel darts underneath the car. And I'm like, well, we got to go. So I'm going to unlock the car. And I hit the thing and we hear boop, boop, donk, as a shocked squirrel clearly jumped in surprise and whammed its head into the undercarriage of my car. And then the poor thing stumbled out and kind of shakily ran away.
Oh,
But that
poor critter.
doop, doop, donk has stayed with me forever. And I think it is one of the, I feel bad for the squirrel. It seemed totally fine, but is very funny.
Yeah, I just realized there's a fruit fly somehow got into my sealed coffee because it has like one of those boba like plastic shields on top.
Oh,
I don't know how it
no.
got in here. You motherfucker! I have to swirl you into this coffee and then I'm gonna drink your little body.
Yeah, do it. So metal.
Right. Come on, you motherfucker! All right. Okay. There he goes. Nope. Oh, he very conveniently got stuck to the side. How are you still alive? This is going to be like a month of podcasts where I'm like, oh, fruit flies. Oh.
This is the most black metal thing that's ever happened live on this show.
Right. I'm going to take a
eating a
picture
living
of this
creature.
of this dude in swimming in my coffee, and then use it as my black metal album cover.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know that
called
whole story of the
Eat
black
the
metal
Flesh.
artist, one of whom who committed suicide, and then one of the other rival bands was like, you know what, we're going to use that for our album cover.
Yes. Yeah, this is classic, like, early black metal.
Yeah.
Right.
I see this body floating in this this coffee sludge. So I recently read the triumvirate of like classic dystopian novels. So I finally read 1984, I read Fahrenheit 451, and just now I finished reading Brave New World.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
And thoughts. So I've read all of those except, did I ever read Fahrenheit 451? I'm not sure I did. I played the interactive fiction game on my Apple II Plus, but
Wow.
yeah.
If I drink this coffee, is this thing going to get sucked? We'll see.
It is
Anyway.
in a sealed container you're drinking from, right?
Well, it's like a, when you get boba and they put the sealed plastic on
Yes.
top of the cup,
Yes.
it's that. And I don't understand how it got in. It must like, it had to have gone through the straw, come out from the bottom, and then moved to the, whatever. This is not interesting.
This is so great.
But, God damn it, I want to drink my coffee without worrying about ingesting fruit fly. Anyway, Fahrenheit
you've probably
451
ingested your share of fruit flies in your life and have been totally fine. So I'm sure
I'm
it's
trying
not
to
gonna
hit,
be
I'm trying to hit a quota.
a big deal.
But Fahrenheit 451 is like fine. It's the weakest of the three. The thing that I was shocked by, nobody's ever talking about the poison robot dogs. There's a poison robot dog in Fahrenheit 451.
I think I remember that. Uh-huh.
Why are we talking about the books when there is a poison robot dog? Anyway, 1984 is the best one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Brave New World, I was like, when was this written? This had to have been 60s, right? Nope. 1932, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Aldous Huxley was fucking on it. That dude knew what was up.
Yeah, I mean, so influential too, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
You know, famously, of course, the Doors are based on an Aldous Huxley. The name of the band is based on an Aldous Huxley book. Or quote. Is it a quote or a book? Can't remember.
The wonderful Strokes song Soma, based off of, Soma. Just really great prose.
I remember that one. So I read 1984 in high school, and Brave New World probably about 20 years ago. And I can't say Brave New World really did like a ton for me, but 1984 is great.
Yeah, that 1984 immediately became like one of my favorite books. I just love the trope in this type of story where it's like, the brainwashed society, but one intellectual who is a writer is breaking away. And then like in the third act, there's some like, evil scientist who is explicitly stating, the themes of the book and having like a philosophical conversation with the protagonist. And it's like vaguely horny. I guess that same thing also happens in like Handmaid's Tale, which is also good.
I've never read that.
I never listen to audiobooks, and for some reason I listened to Claire Danes, I believe, read it. Good stuff. I can't consume narratives through audio form. Usually it's difficult for me to follow.
I hate audiobooks. I won't listen to them.
Also, it'll take me so much longer to listen to an audiobook than it'll take me to read a book.
Yep, same. I prefer reading.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at Twitter less, like I moved my Kindle app to where the Twitter icon was. Maybe.
Oh, nice.
And so I've read like 5 books this week. Like
That's great.
Burned through them.
Looking at Twitter less. That is an aspirational thing for me.
Yeah, I've lost pretty much all desire to do it. I don't look at main timeline at all. It's like, this is just going to be miserable and make me mad.
It's so bad recently. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. I know it's trite at this point, but I miss, 10 years ago when Twitter was weird and fun and just, bizarre jokes. And now it's so, what's even the word?
Misery parade.
It's all current events, and it's just mobs. It's mobs of people running towards a thing and then running away from a thing and then running towards another thing. And it is just people looking for an excuse to be angry at other people. And sometimes those excuses are very valid and sometimes they're not, mostly not. But it's because it's entertainment to be mad at something online and to rally around a force. Like, I saw a good screenshot of a Tumblr post, which is always a very exciting thing to say on a podcast, that was talking about, somebody was complaining about going to Twitter and just seeing news against their will, and then somebody reblogged it with, like, if you go to the circus for news, don't be surprised when a clown tells it to you, which I fucking love. That's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Twitter... especially in the last, I don't know, I feel like since Trump has become unbearable. I still there's so many great comedians and accounts I really, really love on it. But it's exhausting. Yeah. I've definitely felt considerably more sane and have gotten more things done since I stopped looking at it as much. And I don't look at Instagram at all. As with these things, I simply post and leave. Like, I don't care. Yeah. If I want to know what's going on with my friends, I'll talk to my friends. Like, exactly. I was surprised. Tell me if this tracks with your experience. So I posted a thing about vaccines on Twitter, which Yeah, well, I knew what I was getting into, and it was like the most mild statement you could imagine, which was, if you have a chance and if you're eligible and can get an appointment, get vaccinated. The evidence shows the vaccines are safe and effective. Please get vaccinated. Like, that's
Yeah.
it. And so generally speaking, and then I screenshotted that and put the picture of the tweet on Instagram, because I think it's important for people to hear sources they trust saying get vaccinated. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I will change anyone's mind, probably not, but couldn't hurt, right?
Yeah.
If
Worth saying.
one person looks at that and thinks, actually, you know what? Let me do that. Great. Fucking made a difference. Awesome. But the level of rancor was much higher on Instagram than Twitter. I thought Twitter would be particularly nuts, and it's possible that I will occasionally turn off the filters. I have I mute notifications from people that I don't follow, from that don't follow me, that kind of stuff, right? Just to really tamp it down. And even with those off, it wasn't too bad. There were a couple fuck you, my body, my choice, kind of stuff, but which is so dumb when it comes to a public health crisis, but whatever. But on Instagram, it was so much worse. Like the level of thanks, idiot. I guess you sheeple will be getting, getting those microchips. No one actually said that. But
Whoa.
getting stuck in the arm while the rest of us, blah, blah, blah. Someone said something about fertility. It was every anti-vaccine talking point you could imagine. And then people were arguing with them. I of course, will not respond to those 'cause it's...
the narcissism of, oh, the government's gonna microchip us. It's like, motherfucker, you're not that interesting. Everything that they could possibly want on you, they already have, because you have a smartphone in your pocket that you won't stop looking at conspiracy theories on Facebook for. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Says the person who signed up for TikTok. It's like, well,
Yeah.
come the fuck on, dude. It's exhausting. And the thing that really upsets me with those responses are the people who are like, I'm young and I don't need the vaccine, so because I'm going to be fine. And it's like, no, the point is when you get vaccinated, it's not just protecting yourself, it's protecting everybody.
Yeah.
And
Well, they can't look beyond their own selfish desires here. It's like, why would I look at a community where we're trying to help each other when I'm fully focused on myself and only looking out for myself?
Makes me so mad. Yeah.
Yes.
Not mad enough to respond, because that, my whole philosophy with stuff like that is you can never tell who's trolling you, posting in bad faith. And the moment you give them any response, they win. So I will not respond to.
Yeah, I hate it when people who are
negativity.
on your side start arguing with them too, and then you just start getting the notifications of these people arguing with each other, and it's like, oh my god, please fucking stop. I'm trying to enjoy my Saturday. Like, everybody shut the fuck up.
Yep. All notifications off. That's my motto. I've turned off all notifications on all social media.
Pretty much same, I think.
Nothing is going to be that important.
No. It's just, I guess, reading all the dystopian shit, I'm feeling especially grim, especially considering everyone's like, oh, we're living in the 1984 society. No, we're in the Brave New World society. It sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Social media it's interesting because no one really called it, until it was kind of happening. But it's,
we got the
it's very
precursors
depressing.
to it. I mean, oh, fuck me. Oh, man. Okay, I can do this. I can extract this. I got the fruit fly in the straw. No,
you got it.
Straw. Got him! Yes, all right.
Nice. Look at you.
I'm vibing. No, get out of there. This is dynamic podcasting. Do I have a pointy thing?
It's not every day we murder a living creature on the air.
It's true. It reminds me of when I was in high school and we had our science and chemistry classes. Every Friday we would go to the university and go to the lab and stuff. And there was one day where we were dissecting oysters, live oysters, to check out the insides and make diagrams of them or whatever. But
Nice.
the oyster that I got, they were like, well, you have to be careful when you open it up, so you don't sever, because the heart function, whatever it is. When you open an oyster, if you do it violently, it'll automatically kill them. But I got mine open and it was still alive and I was watching the little heartbeat and my dickhead chemistry teacher was like, kill it. He like made me stab the scalpel to kill it.
Oh my God.
To, you know, see the other pieces of it. But it was just such a like devastating little thing of like, oh, against all odds, this little thing survived. You're gonna make me kill it?
Wow, we never dissected anything that was alive. Christ.
Yeah. Did you have to do the pigs?
No, we did worms, frogs, and a mouse. Yeah.
Yeah, our big ones were, I had to do owl pellets like several times throughout my
Yeah.
tenure.
We never did that, but that's popular, yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. You find a little mouse skull in there. But the pigs in high school, they would keep the like formaldehyde pigs in the classroom all year, and so it would just smell like formaldehyde.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, my teacher was like really shitty and was also just had zero empathy for people who were like, I don't know, upset about having to take apart like a thing that was alive.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of like vegetarians in the class where he was like, well, if you refuse to do it, like I'm going to take a ton of points off your grades, so you have to do it. And just like, it's a horrible sensation to cut open a pig.
Yeah, that's an interesting question to me. Like, I guess, should you be able to opt out of that stuff educationally?
Yes, I think you should. I mean, the alternative was like, oh, you go do the digital version that's like simulated on this website. Why does you cutting out the intestine of a creature, how does that make it any more educational than just doing it online? Like, it just feels like a waste of time and resources and shit.
I think there is something to be, you know, like if you're going to be a doctor, for example, and I'm taking an extreme case.
Yeah.
You better be handling real people parts and not just simulated people parts, you know?
Sure, but if you're a bunch of little dipshits who are going into computer science or whatever, you don't need that.
Yeah, in high school it matters a lot less, but I mean, there is a difference between doing a simulation and doing it in real life. But I completely agree with you at the high school level. It doesn't particularly matter if you're doing it for real or not. Like,
yeah,
you know, that's fair. At some point, it does start to matter.
Yeah, of course. For us, it certainly didn't. And then it's like, all right, take out all the intestines. Now one of you is going to hold one end, and one of you is going to hold the other end, and then the third person has to measure how long the intestines are. It's just morbid, and not even in the fun way that I like. Also, just like formaldehyde is so.
I love dissections.
Well, I love watching like medical gore and like surgery videos. I love that shit. That is so fascinating to me, and it doesn't upset me at all. But it's different when you're doing it for seemingly no reason.
Yeah, totally. Wow. Yeah, I never did. In my high school, the pig was AP Bio, and I took AP everything else. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Math and chemistry. So I didn't have room for biology. So we never did the pig, unfortunately.
Lucky.
But I looked on with jealousy, as my friends were, because I would like to do that. Someday I'll cut open a pig. Maybe Audrey will take AP Bio, and we'll be able to dissect a pig together as a father and daughter should.
You know, that's beautiful.
She loves it. We've been did I tell you we were watching dissection videos?
No.
Yeah, because it rained here, you know, pretty recently, and the worms came out in force. And so we went out and explored worms, and picked them up and let them crawl around on our hands and just kind of looked at their wormliness. Some of them were real big fuckers too. And when we got home, I was like, hey, do you want to see how a worm works? And she was like, yes! So we watched a worm dissection video, which was awesome. And she was super into it because they're very simple but interesting. And then when we were done with that, I was not sure she'd be into it. Like, you know, but I figured, let's try it. And then I was like, do you want to see another one? And she was like, absolutely. So we actually took a break for a couple days, and then we watched a frog dissection, and she could not get enough. She just loved it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I pulled up. I've never seen a worm dissection before, so I've got a little worm dissection going on.
Oh, it's dope.
In the background. Yeah, I remember also in middle school they made us dissect a chicken wing, which was interesting.
Yeah. Did you say a chicken?
A chicken wing.
A chicken wing.
Yeah. It was fun. It's neat seeing how things work. You pulled a little tendon and it,
Yeah.
This is a gross looking worm.
Most of them are.
Yeah.
Most of them are. When I went to China, we were walking around in the jungle or whatever that, is it a jungle? I don't know, whatever that, it's like the woods in China or whatever. And there were these worms around. It was like a touristy area. There were these worms around that were legitimately 3 feet long. Like these gigantic, they were probably like, in the diameter of the cross section, it was half an inch to an inch thick, like real thick, bright red, several feet long worms. It was amazing. It looked like something out of a horror film. I will hear.
Yeah, that's big.
Pictures and I'll text it to you.
Please, that's big. The cryptid, the Mongolian death worm vibes.
Oh yes,
I love a good Mongolian death worm.
that's a good one. All right, here we go.
Wow, yeah, they're really cutting that worm.
Here's a sign from a place where there were monkeys that says, "Caution, the aggressive monkeys here. Don't joke the monkeys."
When I was an ungrateful little 12-year-old, my grandmother took me to Costa Rica because like they always took my cousins places, and I think somebody outside of the family was like, "You should take Layton somewhere." Like her cousins have gotten to go like all over the world, and she hasn't gone anywhere. Anyway, we went to Costa Rica and it was very cool. But there was one beach where there were like just lemurs in the trees around the beach. I forget what kind, but it was very fun to toss fruit to the lemurs in the little tree. They were very tiny
I
and
love
cute.
lemurs.
And then we were
All right,
we were kayaking
I sent you the worm
through.
picture.
I have not received it yet. But we were kayaking through a mangrove swamp, which was very exciting. There were a lot of little lemurs there, floating coconuts in the water. Whoa, that's a fat worm. Big worm. That's a girth worm. But there was a guy in our tour group who, not everybody went on the kayaks. Some of them went on the boat because they didn't want to kayak. And like one of the guys who's a big old jokester was like, "Leighton, there's a snake right above you." And I was like, "Fuck off. There's not." And then I paddled away and turned around and there was a pit viper like in the tree branch above where I had just been. Pit vipers, don't recommend them. Pit viper, yeah. The mangoes in Costa Rica were so legit. Like I was 12 and an ungrateful little fuck as stated, so I did not take full advantage of this trip, but I gotta say the fruit hit. Brian, do you have any books to recommend? I legally acquired a large quantity of books, just to have, so I don't look at Twitter. I just need some more good thinky shit.
Yes. Okay. So what? Tell me stuff you like.
Oh, hold on, let me look at my Kindle. Lately, I've been reading a lot of Stephen King, reread The Shining, reread Pet Sematary, started reading the Bachman books.
Have you read The Stand?
Library. I started reading The Stand at the beginning of quarantine, and then it got too depressing, so I stopped.
Cool. I've never read it. People say it's great.
Yeah, I believe it. What the fuck else do I like?
Well, I don't read much King. I did like 11/22/63 a
That's
lot.
also in my library. Have not read it yet.
I would read that. Thinky. I just bought this book. We should do a book club, first of all.
We should. I agree.
For the show. I have to look up the full title. It's called Broadband, The Untold Story of the Women Who Made the Internet by
I think I
Claire
own this
Evans.
book somewhere, yeah.
Cory Doctorow recommended it, and I generally trust him. So I just got that, and it looks really awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely familiar with this.
So that's a nonfiction one.
What can we get on the fiction zone? I definitely go through phases where I read a lot of nonfiction and then I read a lot of fiction, so I'm kind of on the fiction kick right now.
Well, if you are looking for sheer volume, I I will always recommend these Carlo Vognausgaard books, which are, close to 3,600 pages of mostly autobiographical but fictionalized stuff about a very depressed Norwegian
I fuck with that.
that I really, really liked. So I would recommend try a volume of that and see how it goes.
Okay.
And if you like it, there's a lot more. And if you hate it, you read one volume.
Sick. Oh yeah, now I do see broadband in my library. One moment, I'm going to take care of my dog. Baby! I have a very frighteningly attractive neighbor who is a tattoo artist who is just like fully tatted and has a big pit bull and is like a tattoo artist. And I'm so afraid of her, but maybe singles her out and barks at her like a ton every time I see her or anytime she hears her. And so it's like, maybe shut up. You're making me look lame in front of the cool tattoo lady. Like I can't.
And she's extremely hot.
It's troubling. Yeah. Yeah. It's she fixes motorcycles.
Wow.
And then I scurry out like a little rat to get my mail. Then my dog barks at her and I cease to exist just in a cloud of shame. My other neighbors actually texted me like, hey, I saw that bass box in front of your house that unfortunately is still there because I haven't broken it down yet. And they were like, we have a jam space and we play guitar and drums if you want to join us. We always need a bassist. And that is very kind of them. They're very cool. I am terrified at this prospect. Well,
also not till everyone's nice and vaccinated. Like,
it's true. They're fully vaxxed, but
yeah. No, do it. Honestly, that is the best way to get better is to force yourself to play in front of other people and learn songs and do all that shit. Like, if you feel like you can it might be too early for you to do that. Like, you have to get some basic level of competence down.
And I'm not sure I'm really there yet.
Yeah. I mean, you literally just started, so it might be too early. But, the other thing is you're playing bass, so the number of notes you need for any given song, depending on the song, but it can be very limited. So, if you learn a couple notes, you can play a lot of songs.
Yeah, for sure. Vernon has also been learning electric guitar, so we're probably going to do some garage jams over on that end. We're
Nice.
both independently learning "Die Die My Darling" by Misfits, which I already know, and
great.
Someday
that's
by
the style
Strokes.
of thing.
Yeah. The only problem with Misfits is you have to go so goddamn fast.
Yes. Yeah. But that's the good kind. Like any kind of punky sort of stuff will generally be pretty simple.
Yeah, unless it's Dead Kennedys or Oingo Boingo, both of which have insane bass lines that I just never really picked up on that.
I mean, especially Boingo. Like if you're doing more art punk stuff, that's going to be harder. But if you're doing learn a couple fucking Ramones songs and you'll be solid.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, let me look at who is the bassist for Oingo Boingo?
Hold on. Let's see. Can I name this? The bassist for Oingo Boingo. Is it Greg something?
Nope.
Give me initials.
J.A.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to be able to say it.
Yeah, it's John Avila.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yep. That makes sense. I recognize now that I hear it, but I wouldn't have come up with it.
Yeah. God, I texted you that I got the 2 VHS set of Oingo Boingo Farewell, which I'm so excited to watch. The thing with VHS tapes for me is that I save them for occasions so that I may watch them with other people in the dark on my little tiny CRT. So once people can safely be inside my home again, I'm a hit all these greatest hits of how to have cyber sex on the internet, etc. Which I found out there's a part 2 to how to have cyber sex on the internet. Yeah, so I got to get that one too.
Well, there's a lot of there's a full live playlist for the. I mean, we can see it a lot of it online too. This is cool.
Yeah, I do love that. I've been listening to I was going to use this as a what's poppin' for something, but there are some like Chipmunks, Alvin and the Chipmunks cover albums that somebody slowed like way the fuck down, and it's actually like very very good sludge.
Nice.
Hold on, I'm going to drop this for you. It's just exactly what it feels like when my sleeping meds hit.
Were you texting this to me? Or is this in the chat? Sorry.
It's in Zencaster.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
Right?
Oh, this is from Chipmunk Punk, yes.
Is that a thing? I had no idea that that was a thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, there's no punk on the album. It's all,
Yeah.
I mean,
Some very mainstream hits.
yeah. This is great.
Yeah, it's truly a delight. It's the kind of
So
thing
this
that like
does sound, yeah, that's good.
YouTube zeroed in on the kind of recommendations I wanted to see. It still does give me the like Ryan Hollinger like how Midsommar broke me. Like please shut up. Please shut the fuck up. Or like it tries to give me cinema sin stuff. It's like, okay, you can tell that I like movies, but you're giving me everything about current movie criticism that I just fucking loathe. So please
Yeah,
stop.
yeah, yeah. How X wide. Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a good place to stop for this mini.
Yeah, 36
Unless,
minutes?
oh, books. I didn't finish books. I
Books,
have some
yeah,
more
yeah.
books.
Yeah, I guess I can't think of authors off the top of my head that I really like because my brain is dead.
Well, let's see. I mean, Ballard. You like J.G. Ballard, right?
I do, yeah. I do own the Atrocity exhibition, which I haven't started in on yet.
Do
I
you have
finished
High Rise?
Crash. Sorry?
High Rise by Ballard. You could try that.
Yeah. Finishing Crash, it really reminded me of it's very American Psycho in the like cyclical repetition of a lot of stuff, but it's so short that it's not as grating as it is in American Psycho. Also because Bret Easton Ellis is a fucking idiot. But yeah, Crash, highly recommended everybody. If you just want to read some straight pornography about people fucking in car crashes, and it's a good time. It's very beautifully written.
Yeah, cool.
But I'll check out High Rise.
Yeah, he has
do
a
you have
whole. I
any-
mean, you can get. I have a collection of his short stories too, which I've never read, but
Isn't
supposed
that
to be great.
Atrocity exhibition? Am I making that up?
I have a different collection, but it might. There might be several. I think I have like the complete works,
Got it.
complete
I
short
do.
stories.
I
so-
do love when you go to a page for an author and then here's like, oh, these are all the ones that were collected in the controversial Atrocity exhibition. Like anytime something's like, oh, this caused a problem, I'm here for it.
You
It
a
was
Raymond
originally
Carver
called
fan?
Love and Napalm Export USA. Yeah, that's very J.G. Ballard.
Yeah.
Why I want
Raymond
to fuck
Carver.
Ronald Reagan. Neat.
Any feelings on Raymond Carver?
I have not read a whole bunch of Raymond Carver.
Those are fun. Oh, you know what's great if you haven't read them? The come on, brain. The Raymond Chandler, Philip Marlowe books, which are
yeah.
they're so fast. They're very short generally. They're
very
I love
readable.
them. They're so readable. They really hold up. The central mysteries are usually complete nonsense, but they're really fun to read. And especially living in LA, you get a whole new appreciation for them because they all take place here in like the 40s. So
Yeah.
I love those books. I highly recommend. Get like The Long Goodbye or what's another good one there? Another good Marlowe. The Long Goodbye is the best one.
Cool.
Having trouble. There's Farewell, My Lovely, which I don't really remember that well.
Yeah, have you ever read any Shane Stevens?
No, I haven't.
Very similar zone. I have a friend who like doesn't like Raymond Chandler, but really likes Shane Stevens because it's like considerably more actually fucked up. I have not read any of these yet, but my friend speaks
Raymond
very
Chandler is
highly of
not
him.
fucked up at all. Like, if
No,
you want
certainly.
fucked up, that's, yeah.
This friend and I bond almost exclusively over trying to find the most fucked up thing possible. So it's it's a glowing recommendation if he's like, yeah, this one's fucked up.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. I
All
have so
right,
much to read.
everybody. Well, thank you all for being here, as always.
Yeah, this was a pretty low key one.
Yeah, and on Friday, the weed episode comes out, which is a very good episode.
Yes, I agree.
So we'll see. We have not heard a cut of it yet, but I think I remember most of what I said. So we're going to see.
You know what? On this next mini that we're about to record, just a little bit how the sausage is made, folks. We should do a little review of how you felt. You
Yes, absolutely.
know? Okay, great. Well, see you next week, folks. That's the end of this mini. It's just a little tease for next week.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. And I'm gonna stop the recording.